In the studio with me this afternoon, we've got Piers from the Brentwood Gazette. Hello, Piers.
Hello.
How you doing?
Very well.
Have you thawed out yet?
I'm always thought I'm from the north. I'm used to this.
You're used to all this, are you?
Yeah.
Have you started the plans for your igloo yet? Because apparently we're going to need one.
We always have an igloo in the garden. It's there all the time. It never melts.
Oh, no, right, okay. So what we got coming up tomorrow in Brentwood Gazette?
So our front page is setting out where 5,500 houses could go in the borough. It's all part of the LDP, the Local Development Plan, which is a statutory sort of document which councils up and down the country have to publish and have to design and devise where they want their housing to go. Anyway,
right.
So the LDP has been published and we know where they think the houses should go. And the other story we've got is an A12 story, actually. It's the A12 is being refurbished, but as part of the A12 refurbishment, improvement works, a lot of the traffic's going to go through town centre.
Not for good?
Not for good.
Oh, for heaven's sake, my heart jumped then, Piers.
Not for good, just as part of it, it's going to be diverted through the middle of Brentwood.
That'll be horrendous.
The A12 southbound. So we will look at that as well.
That's horrendous. How long is that diversion going to go into place? Do we know?
That diversion's only going to be for the next 10 or 11 days, actually. And after that, there's going to be other bits and pieces done to the A12 as well. But for those 10 days, it's going to be transferred to the middle of Brentwood. Only night time, 10 till 6.
Oh, right.
But it's just,
that's not too bad then.
10 till 6. So it's just to put out the warning to those revellers who might be staggering a few steps.
Yeah. It's going to be a lot busier, isn't it?
Yeah. After 12 o'clock, after the pubs close, the people who's got to be watching out. There's a lot more traffic on the roads.
So that'll obviously be the A12 Shenfield roundabout.
It's going to be it's going to be coming through Ingeston. Actually, it's going to be coming down Ingeston and then through the centre of town, and then out through Brook Street. It's part of their plans, their works to put a contraflow system into the A12 before they start the actual refurbishment and resurfacing works, which is not going to happen until the beginning of next month, actually, or the end of this month. More likely the beginning of next month.
Well, when they say 11 days, is it going to be 11 days, or is it going to be 11 days?
It should be just 11 days.
2 weeks, 3 weeks later, it's still going.
I mean, this is just preparation work. So it's simply to put in a contraflow system into the A12.
All right.
So the cars can go up and down the A12 where they shouldn't be going up and down, while that stretch of the A12 is being cut off, blocked off
okay, gotcha.
for the resurfacing. But the entire stretch of the Brentwood bypass is being done, which is a fair lengthy stretch. So it's everything from, let's say, Brook Street, the M25 junction, up to the Mount Nessing roundabout, and even beyond that.
Right.
So,
okay.
So it's that stretch which is being completed. Just to say to people, just be wary on the roads. Just be, if you're out in town, had a few revellers coming out the Sugar Hut, etc. There's going to be a lot more traffic.
Now. Yeah.
There's going to be a lot more traffic than you used to at that time of night.
It'll probably be as busy at night as it is during the day now.
It could well be, yeah. I mean, the entire southbound carriageway of the A12 will be coming through the centre of town.
Oh my word!
So just to be.
Just be on your guard.
Just be on your guard, yeah.
Now, the other subject you just touched on was the 5,500 houses in the local development plan. Does that actually affect Brentwood itself?
Well, it's going to be in
areas?
Brentwood. It's going to be in Brentwood. So Brentwood Council have got to publish and devise an LDP, which stands for a local development plan. Now, this is something that the central government orders councils up and down the country to come up with. It's a plan that every single council up and down the country has to devise to determine where housing developments of any magnitude will be going. So Brentwood, for example, has got to find somewhere 6,500 houses between now and 2030. Basildon has to find more. It has to find about 13,500 houses.
Right.
Chelmsford, again, will have a different number. But each council has been given by Eric Pickles' office, ironically, a certain figure that they have to meet by 2030. Now, it's not up to the council to build the houses; it's up to the council to find land.
Yeah.
So developers can build on it.
Yeah.
Now, it's up to the developers if they want to take the risk in building houses or not, but that's another matter altogether. That we're talking about finance and Bank of England interest rates and all the rest of it. For the council, their job in it is to determine which land they think is suitable for this development to go ahead. And we spoke about this in a sort of roundabout way a couple of weeks ago when we talked about the West Horndon development. Now, that's going to take, if you remember, West Horndon, the land in between West Horndon and Leindon, south of the A127, could take as many as 3,000 or 4,000 houses of Brentwood's allocation of Brentwood's. Right. Yeah. Now, the council is aware that other land is needed as well. Yeah. And so they've come up with a map where houses could go in the borough. And these include, you can read about this tomorrow in the paper, but these include the land in the three main areas of Doddinghurst, Kelvin and Hatch and Blackmore, the A12 corridor encompassing Brentwood, Shenfield, Ingerton and Mount Nessing, if you think about that, so land either side of the A12.
Right, okay.
And the A127 corridor, which we spoke about last time.
Yes, we did.
Now, the details, as I say, have been set out in the Council's Strategic Growth Consultation Options Document. Basically, it's a roundabout way of saying this is where we think houses could go for a development of any kind of magnitude, right? Those houses there will be looked on favourably, in a separate sort of distinct way as a normal development, 2 or 3 bedroom house around the corner from you in a garden perhaps that someone wants to develop. Yeah. So this will be taken as a separate sort of option for the council, a separate route in order to meet its housing allocation needs that Eric Pickles has set out from central government, from Whitehall. But it just got me thinking that, as we spoke about it 2 weeks ago, two or 3 weeks ago, that housing is a big issue. I know we crossed swords a bit that time because I had a different viewpoint to you.
You don't want it turning out into a concrete jungle, do you?
Well, this is the argument we had before, and it comes back every time to where we're going to find houses for people. And the government's done its trying to do its bit. You would think people may argue against that, but by bringing by reallocating stamp duties to graduate it, it's
which was quite a clever move, to be honest.
It's quite a clever move.
It saves thousands.
It saves thousands, and it saves thousands for the people who are in that bracket.
Yeah.
And it encourages people to move.
Yes, it does.
Because stamp duty is, in effect, a tax on moving house. That's all it is.
It's money for nothing.
It's money for nothing.
Give you money away.
So I want to move house. We'll tax you for it. That's all it is.
That's all it is. Yeah.
So it is removing that barrier to people wanting to move house. Saying that, people are still going to have to move into a house that they can afford. And if they can't afford a house that they want to move into, they're not going to move anyway. They're going to be stuck in a rented accommodation somewhere.
That's right.
Which obviously isn't
stamp
duty on. So this plan, this document, basically sets out Brentwood's share of the UK's housing problem. And it will require a bit of pill because a lot of this land is greenbelt, and this is where we...
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I know we should, but I don't like that. Building on greenbelt land, I don't like it one little bit. I don't know. Who have I got to talk to? Well, I'll solve it. Piers, leave it to me, mate, I'll solve it.
This is going to be set out as a consultation document. It's going to also encourage, hopefully, more employment opportunities.
See, that's good
for companies who want to develop on maybe brown belt or something like that. To develop.
That's good. That's
units for people to work.
That's very good.
And it will require a lot of infrastructure as well, remember, because new schools are going to be required. If there are more houses, then presumably there are going to be more kids eventually.
Yeah.
More schools are going to be required, and more doctors.
And 5,000 houses, 5,500 houses.
5,500 houses.
That's a lot. So you're looking in excess of. You could be talking like 15,000 people.
Well, what's the average? What's the average home? Maybe 3 bedrooms. It's probably 2.4 kids, isn't it?
Yeah.
So 2 kids, family of 4, on average. Possibly a bit fewer than that. Maybe three per. So 15,000 people, possibly.
Yeah, about 15,000 people, I suppose, coming into the area.
Which
will do the high street good.
It'll do the high street and all
the upshot. I mean, they've got to spend their money somewhere, haven't it? All the local businesses will do better out of this, to be honest with you.
Yeah, these are some of the questions that people are going to be asked. Just to gloss over very, very briefly about the sort of questions people are going to be asked on the consultation document. It says, do you agree with basically where we think the houses should go?
Yeah.
Do you agree with issues raised within each of the areas? So each area has its own particular problem. Given the greater capacity for growth along the A127, which of these sites put forward do you think is the best location for growth? Should the A12 corridor accommodate more growth by releasing sites on the edge of urban areas? I mean, they're basically pretty common sense questions, but some of the questions are going to be asked of people to put their viewpoint forward, to give the council serious credence in where it wants to develop. And it can mean that once this LDP document is formalised and published and is then made up and then is makes up a formal document for planning in the area, it can be more difficult for other development to happen outside that document. If you see what I mean.
I can understand that.
It's basically to firm it all up and to formalise it, help developers find a place for it to go, but also prevent unscrupulous developers putting something where they should be putting it in green belt and the rest of it.
Yeah. Well, I mean...
So we will see.
Yeah, we'll see. Once they've allocated the lands, we'll see what developers get hold of the land and what they're going to do with it.
I mean, it all comes down to where people want to live, and people want to live in Brentwood.
Of course they do.
Unfortunately, or fortunately, because
it's a lovely place. It's a gorgeous place.
It's going to be. I think people have got to wise up, because if towns don't move and don't morph and don't carry on moving forward, then they can be in trouble.
Yeah.
Every town in the country has to keep moving forward.
Of course,
it's not. You can't
stand still.
You can't stand still. You can't keep it in aspic or like the front of a chocolate box. It's just it's not going to happen.
You can't. You have to keep going. You have to keep growing with the times.
Yeah, I mean, unless you want to live way out in the Cotswolds where it is like that, fine. But Brentwood's not the Cotswolds.
No.
It's on the edge of the M25.
Yeah. Which brings this with it. Obviously.
Which brings this with it. Yeah.
That's a bad point.
It's got the A12 running through it, and it's got the M25 running through it. So it ain't what people may think it is. It's a town that has to continually move forward, develop, and change. And if it doesn't, then it's doomed.
Yeah.
So
totally.
It's got to be.
No, I totally agree with you there. Totally agree with you. Well, fingers crossed it all comes out okay and we don't end up with brick walls everywhere.
I don't think we'll end up with brick walls everywhere.
Thank heaven's sake for that. I was having sleepless nights, Piers. So, are you going to come back next week?
I will come back. It might not be me. It might be Joe or Simon.
Fantastic. Well, we'll see one of you next week. You have a fantastic weekend.
I won't be seeing you until after Christmas, baby. What's the date today?
Oh, it's the 9th, isn't it? Is it 9th? Yes, 9th.
You might not see me until after Christmas.
No. Well, you have a fantastic Christmas then. I might play you a Christmas song in a minute, just to get you in a festivity mood.
Absolutely.
Lovely.
All right.
See you soon.